There's a common assumption that as people grow up, their politics mature, that more information leads to more nuance, that exposure softens extremes. But for many people, the opposite happens. Political thinking hardens after school. Identities lock in. Conversations narrow. So the question isn't just why politics feels polarized. It's this. If school introduces the political binary, why doesn't it fade in adult life? You're listening to Beyond the Binary. This series isn't about telling you what to believe. It's about understanding the systems that shape how political thinking happens. Each episode builds on the last, and this episode picks up where episode 1 left off. In episode 1, we talked about how schools introduce politics as a binary. Two sides, opposing positions, structured debates. That framing doesn't disappear after graduation. It becomes reinforced. This episode asks why, not by blaming voters, but by examining the systems that reward certain political behaviors over others. A reinforcement loop is simple. When a behavior is rewarded, it gets repeated. When it's ignored or punished, it fades. Over time, repeated rewards don't just shape behavior, they shape identity. You can see this when people say they don't like politics, but still feel pressure to pick a side. Online, at work, or even in family conversations. Opting out stops feeling neutral and starts feeling risky. That pressure isn't cultural, it's structural. Modern political media is organized around conflict, speed, and clarity. Two opposing sides are easier to present than layered systems. Arguments are easier to package than processes. For example, in Texas, during statewide elections, coverage often frames races as red versus blue contests, even in regions like South Texas where local priorities vary dramatically. The focus shifts to who's winning or losing the Rio Grande Valley, rather than why issues like land use, water access, or environmental regulation matter locally. Over time, audiences aren't just informed, they're trained to expect politics to look like a fight. Algorithms don't care about ideology. They care about engagement. They amplify what keeps people watching, clicking, reacting. In places like the Rio Grande Valley, posts about development or environmental issues often spread fastest when framed as jobs versus obstruction or progress versus resistance. More nuanced discussions about risk, access, or long-term impacts circulate far less widely. The system teaches people how to speak politically if they want visibility. Winner-take-all elections reward party loyalty, strategic voting, negative partisanship. That's why you hear voters say, "I don't love this candidate, but the other side is worse." That's a structural failure, and it feels like rational behavior inside a binary system. The structure rewards staying inside the frame. Over time, the binary becomes professional. Journalists, consultants, advocates, and organizers quickly learn which narratives get traction, funding, or access, and which don't. Once someone's public role becomes associated with one side, stepping outside that framing carries real costs. The binary becomes a survival strategy. No single system creates the political binary, but together, education introduces it, media rewards it, algorithms amplify it, elections enforce it, and careers lock in. No coordination required, the loop sustains itself. When binary thinking is continuously rewarded, political imagination shrinks. People disengage not because they don't care, but because the system offers only two options and neither feels adequate. So if these systems reward binary thinking, what does that do to democracy itself? That's where we're going next. This was episode 2 of Beyond the Binary, Why the Binary Doesn't Go Away. You can find the visual carousel companion on our Instagram page at WDP Frontlines, where the systems are mapped directly. Until then, stay curious.